to the fence, and that's gone.
There it is. Ace to win the set. It's caught. 20-10. Touchdown.
This is going to be in the gap.
Yes! Scores on the deflection. The Andover Huskies win their first state championship.
It is a sunny yet breezy afternoon in Andover at Andover High School. Northwest Suburban Conference girls softball here this afternoon and evening. The Andover Huskies are hosting the Blaine Bengals in their lone regular season meeting, but if past history is anything to go by, they'll probably play in the playoffs as well. They've faced off the last several years in Section 7 play. Along with Tim Anderson, I'm Jim Erickson here on QCTV. I think it's only fitting that the day after Gordon Lightfoot passed away, we've got the gales of November coming early here, Tim. We got a strong wind out of the north and northwest, and that's going to be a factor here, not only for the people watching the game, but, of course, for the players on the field.
Boy, you're so good at this job, Jim, the way you dropped the Gordon Lightfoot bomb on us 5 seconds into the game. That's as good as it gets right there. There's a look at the Andover Huskies defense as we come in. And this Andover team has played really, really well to start the year. They're 5-2, but as we've talked to Coach Connie Huberty before the game, they're a few inches away from potentially being undefeated or 6-1 or whatever you'd like to throw it. They have played really, really well, and a lot of that's because they've pitched well. They've had timely hitting, and this defense behind pitcher Kalen Polzin has been very effective.
Yeah, meanwhile, the Blaine Bengals, Tim, 4-3, 3-3 in conference play. They did play a game yesterday and fell to Spring Lake Park in a high-scoring game, 12-6.
And that's kind of been Blaine so far this year under first-year head coach Zach Nienaber. They're hitting the ball. They can hit. They can score runs. The question is can they stop anybody? Can they play defense? Yesterday they had a tough time. They had 5 errors in the field. That'll get you beat more often than not. But they feel like they can hit with anybody. The only teams that they've struggled to really get hits off of was Maple Grove, but who hasn't? Maple Grove has pitched well. They've played well. They've got one of the better pitchers in the Northwest Suburban Conference.
Kalen Polzin is getting the start here for Andover. She's been fantastic for the Huskies, 5-1, a 0.74 ERA, 38 innings pitched, 4 earned runs, just 9 earns total, 4 earned runs with that ERA of under 1, 40 strikeouts, 11 walks, 18 hits given up, and as we said, 9 total runs. And she's been strong. They've had some other girls that have pitched for them as well. They've suffered some injuries at that position, so it's going to be mostly Polzin going the rest of the way here for Andover.
That's going to be the question when we get to like late May and we get to the end of the season into section play. Those teams that tend to have to ride that one horse all the way, you just wonder if there's going to be any gas left, especially when all these games get played in such a compacted frame, right? Where they're probably going out and throwing 3-4 times in the week to finish up this school year. It's going to be a lot to ask as you take a look at the batting order for the Bengals and Maddie Bryant, who's leading it off.
Maddie Bryant steps up, senior center fielder here for the Bengals, and their coach Zach Nienaber. First year with the Bengals, coming over, making the move from Coon Rapids, and the first pitch from Polzin is a strike.
I know I've talked to Zach a bunch about this move, and I think it's re-energized him. I really do. Sometimes I think coaches, they spend a long time at one destination, and of course we're old Coon Rapids Cardinals, so coaching at the old alma mater and stuff, we've known that, but you just wonder if you need a fresh eyes, need a change of pace, need something different to look at. Wonder if that's done some good.
Blaine is a team hitting .302. It seems like Blaine softball, they've always hit the ball, and this one's up a little bit high. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 here to Bryant, then it's Schmitz and Way for the Bengals.
Wind is right in our face, too, coming sideways across the field. You do wonder if that will play a role here on certainly the pitching and the fly balls.
Swing and a miss, and the count now at 2-2. Bryant hitting .400 coming in here for the Bengals. 8 runs batted in, 10 hits, 25 at bats. Bengals do have 3 home runs amongst and in their lineup here today. Base is empty, leading off the game, swing and a miss. And Polzin gets Bryant, kind of climbs the ladder a little bit there, and Bryant down, swinging 1 down, and the 41st strikeout of the season for Polzin.
And that is Kalen Polzin. She's a power pitcher. She's going to change speeds, but she's going to throw that fastball as the out pitch when she needs it. She's able to ride one up in the zone there on Bryant, and not a whole lot for the Blaine center fielder to do.
Kendra Smith, the second baseman, now will step to the plate. .375 hitter, 7 runs batted in. Those 8 by Bryant lead the team down the right field line. Brown gets over and it sneaks by her. Schmitz is going to make her way to second and will slide in. Close play, good relay from the outfield, but it's a one-out double for Kendra Schmitz here in the top of the first.
You know, I always like it when hitters occasionally do that. They've sat in the previous on the on-deck circle. They watch the pitcher throw a few pitches, started to see what the velocity looks like. Go up there and sit fastball on that first pitch and go ahead and drive it. And that's exactly what you see Kendra Schmitz do right there. And now she sits on second in scoring position. This is what Blaine likes to do.
First double of the season for her. Now the senior first baseman, Caitlin Way. Way a .320 hitter. And will take at the knees. Good pitch by Polzine to start it out. 1 strike. Vogel to follow the shortstop. Runner in scoring position here for the Bengals. That one same spot, right at the knees. 0-2.
Schmitz bluffing off of second, but Andover not concerned. Not looking at Schmitz as a threat to steal here or anything, but looking maybe for a pass ball opportunity.
Way with 5 runs batted in. 8 hits on the season. Hits this one well to the gap to left center, and that's going to be in there for a hit. Vocati cuts it off. That'll score the run. And it's 1-0 Bengals. Caitlin Way with an RBI base hit.
Again, behind in the count, a chance to just square up, and you see a nice compact swing from Caitlin Way, driving it into left field. And again, a ball that maybe sits in the wind a little bit and maybe blows away from the left fielder Vocati. Able to get down for a hit, and Schmitz able to Cadillac home.
Cleanup hitter is Emily Vogel for the Bengals.
They've been impressed with Vogel. She's had a fantastic season.
And fouls this one back, 1 strike. Vogel, .556 average, 10 hits and 18 at-bats. As a home run, 2 runs batted in.
Yeah, they lost 12-6 last night, but even then, 6 runs in the loss, and they feel like that should have been a lot closer if they were able to not boot the ball in the field.
The 1-strike pitch off speed, low and away, 1 ball and 1 strike. That was 12-6 yesterday. Bengals used 3 pitchers, Klein, Edwards, and Sylvia Cochran.
You'll notice not as many strikeouts on the Blaine side. We'll get to them when they're on the defensive side. 2 very different ways of playing.
1-1 pitch, little number towards short. Heppel will bobble it. Does she get to the bag? Not in time. Tried to tag the bag with the ball, and everybody's going to be safe. That'll be an error. First one of the game.
Yeah, that was,
now first and second.
You were right when you talk about like a knuckleball, a little nubber, and those have weird spin, and you could see it just ate up the shortstop Heppel right there. Not able to get to the bag in time to get that force play, and now you got runners on first and second for Edwards.
Vogel at first on the fielder's choice. Way safe on the air at second, and here's the number 5 hitter, Edwards. First pitch swinging and fouling it back, strike 1.
Interesting thing here for Polzine because she strikes out a lot of people. She gets ahead of a lot of hitters. She misses a lot of bats. And early on, you're seeing the Bengals, they can time up just about anybody.
Edwards with 4 RBIs on the season takes high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And what you worry about is now the pitcher feels like, well, if I can't get him to miss bats, what do I do? Do I start to nibble? Do I start to kind of work in different parts of the strike zone? And that's when it gets pitchers into a little bit of trouble. If you're Polzine, you got to stay with what you know and keep doing the things that you're good at.
And the 1-1 from Polzine up high. Nice job by the senior catcher Farber, who went up and got it. 2-1. The infield for Andover. Dunleavy at third, Heppels at short, Ludi at second. Winter is the first baseman. Vocati, Johnson, and Brown in the outfield. Here's the pitch off the handle and fought off into the Andover bench area.
And the Andover assistant coach almost had to make a bare hand play for his life right there.
2-2. After today, Andover has just 6 games remaining. Blaine has a few more. And
have to assume there's some makeup games in there somewhere.
Yeah, they got some non-conference games against St. Francis and Brainerd. 2-2 pitch, swung on and missed, struck her out. Big strikeout for Polzine. Second strikeout of the game, second out of the inning. Runners remain at first and second here for Emmy Sylvia Cochran.
And that is, again, just going back to trusting your stuff, right? Throwing it right over, trusting that your fastball is better than her as a hitter. Great job by Polzine there, getting a big out.
Trying to keep the damage to a minimum here as she faces Emmy, and it's up high. 1 ball.
The very rare number 86 in a game of
Yeah.
fast pitch. You got to love that.
All those numbers now getting different. You're seeing that in hockey now more. Emmy Sylvia Cochran hitting .263. Ball here. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I have to guess it's the first 86 in Blaine fast pitch history.
Yes.
How many famous 86s?
But now it's going to become a trend.
Now it is. You're right. Somebody's going to want to wear the famed 86.
I'm going to say they're a big Vikings fan that wore 86, but the only one I can think of is Jake Reed.
That's
swing
right.
and a miss.
Can't imagine there's a lot of Jake Reed
No,
fans. So maybe
no,
there are.
that's
I mean, I don't
before
know.
their era.
But yeah.
1 and 2 here to Emmy Sylvia Cochran. Sarah Klein in the number 7 spot would bat next here for Blaine.
And this is where, again, Sylvia Cochran's just going to have a quick bat. Try to see if she can just barrel it up.
1-2, and she swings and misses. And I had the count wrong. Now it's 1 and 2.
Now it's 1 and 2.
Might be 2 and 2.
Yeah.
What does it say on the scoreboard?
Looks like 2 and 2 to
yeah,
me.
2 and 2. The sun is shining on the scoreboard. It's hard to see.
It's just nice to have sunshine, Jim. I will not
Yeah,
complain.
we don't complain.
Not complaining about any of it.
Now the 2-2 popped up over our heads out of play, and he'll stay 2-2.
Did you park in a safe spot today?
Yeah, I'm down the right field line.
Smart, man. Smart.
I'm out of range.
I think I convinced somebody to double park in front of my car and just serve as a little bit
Right.
of protection, which is, usually I'm not a huge fan of the double park, but I went with it this time.
I've used a human shield before, but that's frowned upon.
That is not behavior that QCTV folks like to see.
2 balls, 2 strikes, a run in here for Blaine in the top of the first inning, and still runners at first and second. Now the 2-2 hit the other way, right field line. Brown foul territory, long run, and they won't be able to get it, and it'll ride along here at 2-2.
And yeah, the one thing Blaine can say is good here is they've made Polzine work. They've made her throw a lot of pitches. They've had a chance to see all the different parts of her repertoire. And there's traffic in this inning. It's a high leverage, high pressure inning. We'll see how that plays itself out as the game goes along.
A run on 2 hits here this inning. Couple of strikeouts for Polzine. Kalen trying to make it 3 strikeouts. She's 1 pitch away. On the rubber and 2-2. Just getting a piece of it with Sylvia Cochran fouling it back. And it stays at 2-2.
Quick bat, gotta, again, choke up a little bit, swing a bit defensively, shorten things. And that's exactly what you're seeing from Emma Sylvia Cochran here. You even see that she doesn't even put her hands together on the bat. That's what's kind of the interesting part.
Yes. The split grip, and that's outside. That fills the count. This has been a long battle here between Polzine and Emmy Sylvia Cochran. Count now full.
This is one that I think Polzine wants to get. Don't want to lose this hitter here because I think that stuff does, again, those are things that linger when it comes to the confidence of a pitcher. You want to get out of it right now.
Here is the pitch. Swung on and missed. Got her. 3 strikeouts in the inning, but Blaine does here in the top of the first. Strike for 1. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 error, and 2 left on. 1 half inning, Blaine with 1, and Andover coming up here in the bottom half.
Well, we got to see exactly what Kalen Polzine's all about. Strikes out a lot of hitters. They struck out the side. Yes, gave up a couple hits in that inning, but also struck out 3 batters. She's got overpowering stuff, no question. Here's a look at the Blaine defense today. Behind pitcher Emma Edwards, you have Peterson, Bryant, Klein in the outfield, Sylvia Cochran, Vogel, Schmitz, and Way in the infield. The battery of Jenna Jones for Emma Edwards.
Meanwhile, the Andover Huskies will have Maya Johnson, Chloe Brown, and Lacey Heppel here to lead off the bottom of the first inning, the due batters. And Emmy Edwards in the circle here today, 3-3 on the season, even 500, 1.43 ERA, 29 1/3 innings pitched. Struck out 12, walked 8. Has given up 23 runs, but only 6 of them earned, so there have been some errors behind her, and has given up 39 hits in this season here so far. 8 games in for Blaine after losing yesterday 12-6. Klein had 3 runs batted in for Blaine. A couple of hits for Bryan, Way, and Vogel. Edwards pitched in middle relief, went 2 2/3. She ended up taking the loss yesterday against Spring Lake Park. Klein started, went 3 innings, and then Sylvia Cochran came in and finished up in the last inning and a third.
So they're in a different situation completely than Andover, right, where they're throwing different arms out there. I don't know if they have that one overpowering arm at all, so they're not afraid to let teams hit the ball. They try to put it in play and play defense.
You know, their team ERA, Blaine's team ERA is 1.38. So they have, and the total number of runs that they've given up, so they have had some issues out in the field, and they don't have a lot of strikeouts, so they're more of a put the ball in play kind of team as far as on the defensive side when they're in the field. Contact, make plays, and that's a key to them here today.
And that's I think he talked about that, Zach Neighbor did a little before the game, about how Edwards will rely a little bit on her off-speed stuff, her screwball, try to get some contact.
Johnson on the ground to second, Schmitz. Quick play over to first. One up, one down. Maya Johnson retired here for the Huskies.
There's an example of that right there, getting a ground ball in the infield and able to make the quick play. Blaine not afraid to let you hit the ball.
Andover is a team hitting .282. Chloe Brown bats now, hitting .167. 4 hits, 24 at bats.
You can see both pitchers go to the armband for their signals from both coaches.
Yeah, that's something relatively new as well. Used to only see that in football. Quarterbacks calling plays, maybe the middle linebacker, and now it's used in every sport. Is it used in speech?
Oh, speech, we use it often. Yeah, no question. It's not too long before we go to those Major League Baseball moves where it's all that
the beeping.
The beeping.
Yes,
That's what we'll go with. You
Gotta
wonder
learn.
how far away that is.
We got to learn Morse code again.
We might have to.
1 ball, 1 strike to Chloe Brown. 1 down. Bases are empty. Here's the Edwards pitch up high off the glove of the junior catcher Jenna Jones, and it's 2-1.
Edwards kind of peering in here, getting her idea for the sign or her number.
Emma leans in, 2-1 pitch outside. Good eye by Chloe Brown, 3-1.
Yeah, it's not an overpowering fastball or anything that Edwards throws, but I think it's got some sneaky movement, and it gets on you pretty quickly.
Edwards ready with a 3-1. Low and in, ball 4. First runner on here for Andover this afternoon, a 1-out base runner. That'll bring up Lacey Heppel.
Maybe Edwards trying to be a little too fine right there. With nobody on in the first inning, you know, it's okay to, I mean, you don't want to serve up a cookie necessarily, but I think it's okay to find that strike zone and just throw. I think Edwards maybe was dancing around the corners a little bit too much in that AB.
Edwards is the senior right-hander. Here's her pitch. It's about chin level. And ball 1 to Lacey Heppel.
Smart move. Take a little step off the circle here for a second. Kind of gather yourself.
Coach Neighbor talked about Emma Edwards and how she uses her screwball. She's gotten a lot of ground balls using that screwball.
We'll take one right here.
There's the pitch, and it's a bouncer towards short. Vogel will have to go to first. Out there, throw behind the runner. Will sneak into the outfield, but Brown's going nowhere now. 2 outs, and the runner at second, Chloe Brown.
Boy, that was a pretty bold move by Caitlin Way to try to throw somebody out who was 1 step off the bag at second base. That could lead to a snowball fight in a minute here as that ball's flying all over the yard. But a good play at short by Vogel to get that out, be decisive with it. Didn't waste time. Got the quick out at first.
Addie Farber bats for Andover and looks at the first pitch below the knees. Ball 1. Farber senior. Runner in scoring position, 1-0 Blaine. 1-0, bounce to the right side. High hop there for Schmitz. Over to first, and Emma Edwards gets out of it here. She did walk 1, but leaves 1. We've played 1, and Blaine here on the road, leading Andover 1-0 on QCTV Sports. Top of the second inning coming up here in the bottom third of the Blaine order. Sarah Klein, Kylie Peterson, and Kayla Schaefer. 7, 8, 9 here for the Bengals. 4-3 on the season. 3-3. This is their 8th game of the season. 3-3 in conference play. Andover 5-2 so far in the Northwest Suburban Conference. All 7 of their games for Andover here so far have been conference games. They do have got a couple of non-conference game, including a section game at St. Francis. Their last game is May 19th. Blaine's last game is May 22nd. That's right around the corner, Tim. There's not much left in the season.
No, we counted down today the seniors after today now. 21 academic school days left. So, I mean, things move quickly around this third trimester, especially when you get a late winter like this, a late spring, I should say, where you're not able to get out right away in April like you want to. Things escalate quickly, as Ron Burgundy once said.
Yes. As Klein takes low ball 1-0.
And it just feels like there's a lot of bats in this Blaine lineup. Klein, as you mentioned, 3 hits last night. Looking to try to start Blaine off with the 1-0 lead here in the second.
And an off-speed pitch is a called strike.
Wind still blowing, still gusting around 15, 20 miles an hour. Dust kicking up in the infield.
I can feel it in my teeth.
Yeah, it's a little grimy, a little sand, gritty, a little sandpapery right now.
Pulled sharply but foul. Wide of third.
Just make sure your soda's got a lid on it.
I do. Klein got good bat on that.
And if you're Blaine, you got to be thrilled with the fact that you're making contact pretty much every AB, that every AB is a battle. And Polzine might be getting the strikeouts at the end in some of these ABs and winning these battles, but she's had to work for every single one of them.
Klein, 312 hitter, 4 runs batted in. 1 ball and 2 strikes from Polzine. Try to get her to chase, and it's 2-2.
Maybe a bit of a waste pitch, hoping that Klein will join her on that one, reach for it.
Low. Tried the drop, and now it's full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
A lot of action going on here tonight in Andover. The baseball game's happening right now, just across the way.
JV softball also here as we speak. Low, ball 4.
Good AB for Sarah Klein to start things, and immediately traffic on the base pass for the Bengals to begin the second.
First walk of the game given up by Polzine. She had basically a 4-to-1 strikeout to walk ratio coming into the game today.
Well, we were wondering when we'd see a lefty. I've been wondering to see if we'd get a lefty slap hitter in this lineup, and it looks like we may have one here with Kylie Peterson.
Yeah, in the number 8 spot for the Bengals. Low, ball 1.
Bluffing bunt, showing bunt.
Kylie, 182 average, does have 3 runs batted in, 4 hits, 22 at bats. A 1-0 Blaine lead in the top of the second inning. That's the 1-0 pitch. There's the bunt played by the third baseman Dunleavy. Gets to first out there. And Peterson gets the job done. Lays down a sacrifice bunt. Klein goes to second, 1 out.
Yeah, Farber was practically in the batter's box from Peterson when that bunt went down. They knew it was coming, but they still weren't able to turn around and get that throw down to second. It was a good bunt by Peterson, but it did allow the runner Klein to get into scoring position. So a sacrifice retirement, 5-3. Nice job.
Brings up their number 9 hitter, Kayla Schaefer. She's the designated player today, hitting for their catcher, Jenna Jones, who's the catcher/flex. Ball is low, ball 1, 1-0 here to Schaefer.
Scratch that 5-4 on the sacrifice, put out a second baseman covered on that play.
I'll make the change, thank you.
We like to keep things official here, Jim, as you know.
Just below the knees, 2-0. Yeah, because you never know when somebody's going to call you late at night and say, hey, was that a 5-3 or a 5-4?
Somebody might do a game audit. You never know.
Exactly.
You got to be ready for that stuff.
2 balls and no strikes. Polzine falling behind here to Schaefer, the top of the order on deck. And that's a strike, 2-1.
And that's where if you're Polzine, you just do that. Just go after this 9-hitter. Try to get this out right here and take your chances with Bryant at the top.
Popped up, right side. That'll be out of play. And even the count here at 2-2. Near the QCTV truck.
That certainly hasn't been christened yet this year. I don't think it's been hit by anybody as of yet, but the season is still early.
Official tally is 0. We get the word.
The over-under, I think, is 3.5, though. So
2-2, swing and a miss. Struck her out, 4 outs. Now 5 outs, and 4 of them are strikeouts. 2 down.
Swinging strikes, too. That's what happens when you've got some overpowering stuff.
Now the senior center fielder, Maddie Bryant, back to the top of the order for the Bengals. Runner remains at second, 1-0 Blaine. Caitlin Way with an RBI single back in the first inning. Strike 1 here in the first offering to Bryant.
Kendra Schmitz waiting on deck, who had the double in the first inning and ended up scoring on that.
Bryant struck out swinging back in the first, 0 for 1. Hits this one well to center field, and it's out of the reach of Johnson, just over her glove. That'll get Klein in, and heading to second with a stand-up double is Maddie Bryant. Second double of the game here for Blaine, and they lead it 2-0.
Boy, that was on a rope, and when you consider what that wind is doing out there in the outfield, I think it ate up Johnson a little bit because it looked like she had that perfectly played, like she was right in front of it, and then it was like the ball moved on her. So as that wind is blowing in and out to right field a little bit, it's blowing in on us, but I think it's right in the path of where that fly ball was, and I think it just ate Johnson up.
Maddie Bryant with her team leading 9th run batted in with that double. She's on at second now, 2 down still, 2-0 Blaine. Kendra Smits, who doubled and scored the run back in the first, takes a strike here, 0-1.
That was a frozen rope by Bryant, too. She really got a hold of that. Caught up on Maya Johnson quickly in the outfield.
0-1 to Schmitz, Way on deck. At the knees, we've got the Dust Bowl happening here, 0-2.
I don't know how you see anything when that comes. That was gusting in there pretty hard on Kendra Schmitz.
The pitch is coming in, and you got sand and dust in your eyes. 0-2 with 2 down. In the dirt. Farber does a nice job. Throw with the runner going. And close play at third. And the call will be that she snuck underneath for a stolen base for Maddie Smith, or Maddie Bryant.
I thought they had her there at first, but Farber was able to get the tag. It looked like, oh, that was so close, man. Ump right on top of it, though.
So now another run 60 feet away. Polzine with 2 down. To the plate, needs to get Schmitz here. And it's on the ground sharply, grounder to second. Ludi short way to first. And that's all for Blaine in the top of the second. But they add another run here. 1 run, 1 hit, a walk, and a sacrifice. So they did a nice job manufacturing that run in this second inning. We'll go to the bottom of the second. 2-0 Bengals.
You got to be pretty happy with this if you're Coach Nienaber so far. Team's hitting the ball. They're moving runners around, getting the timely hits. That was a clutch 2-out hit right there to get them that second run. And now if you're Emma Edwards, you just want to go and do exactly what you did in the first inning. Get a couple of ground balls, get out of the inning quickly, try to get your bats back up.
Andover threatened in the first inning. Had a runner in scoring position after Chloe Brown walked and then advanced on a fielder's choice. Ended up getting stranded at second. And here for Andover in the bottom of the second inning, Dunleavy, Ludi, and Winter, 5, 6, and 7 in their lineup.
And like I said at the beginning, hitting not a problem for the Bengals. In many of their games this year, they've been able to crack 7, 8, 9, 10 runs, 11 runs. And in talking with Zach Nienaber a bit, they feel like they can hit anybody. They don't feel intimidated by any pitcher, and I think that's showing itself today because Polzine's a great pitcher. And they've been able to come out and put the bat on the ball.
Blaine won both meetings last year, 17-7 and 6-5 in section play. Forest Lake ended up winning the section a year ago.
No way, really?
And yeah.
What a surprise.
And in the last 9 meetings, Blaine's won 7 between the Bengals and the Huskies. There's a called strike here to Dunleavy, 1 strike, leading off the bottom of the second inning. Dunleavy, .360 average, 9 hits, 25 at bats, 6 runs batted in. And hit sharply off the second baseman Schmidt's glove and into right field. That'll be a hit. That one was lined hard off of the glove of Schmidt's. First hit of the game for Andover.
Yeah, I think that glove came up out of self-defense only, not necessarily as a way to make a play on the ball.
And it got bent back pretty well, too.
No question. You may want to re-strap that one up afterward. Great piece of hitting by Dunleavy, and it gets the Huskies started here in the second.
Leadoff runner on. Here's the second baseman, Ludi, gets hit by a pitch. So 2 on now. Ludi will take first. First pitch from Edwards, Nichter. First and second, nobody out. Here's Addie Winter now.
This is where you start to worry a little bit if you're Blaine. Now we got traffic for the Huskies, and since you don't have overpowering stuff, you're going to be looking to get ground balls or quick pop-outs or some force plays here to keep a runner from scoring.
Farber leads the team and runs batted in with 10. Tries to lay down the bunt, pops it up. And it goes back to the screen, and the catcher, Jones, had a beat on it. Just didn't get back quick enough. It just wasn't high enough. 1 strike here to Winter.
That's so tough for a catcher because you got to get that mask off quick. You got to see where that is. You're anticipating that ball going forward, not expecting that to get in the air backward.
Winter, 222 average with 3 runs batted in. Lays a bunt down this time, third base side, but again rolls foul, 0-2.
So now that one, you check the strategy here for Coach Connie Huberty. Is she going to take the risk and throw the bunt down with 2 strikes here, or are you going to go ahead and swing away? And in fast pitch, that's not always a guarantee that they're going to start swinging here. They may still very well bunt. Yep, absolutely.
0-2, she does, pulls back, doesn't offer, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Another Addie on deck. Addie Vocati is due up next. Nobody out here for Andover. They're down 2-0. They got the tying runs here on base in the bottom of the second. Again, shows bunt, got a piece of it, fouled it off, and she will be a strikeout victim. Foul ball bunt on 2 strikes. Winter is down, 1 down. Runners remain at first and second.
And that is the gift that you're looking for if you're Blaine. Try to get an out without the runners advancing. They got that there. That's the risk you take again with trying to bunt with 2 strikes. You like the strategy because you'd love to get second and third.
Here's another bunt attempt by Vocati. She offers at that. It's a strike, goes back to the screen. That allows the runners to move up. Dunleavy to third, Ludi to second.
That's as good as a bunt right there.
Yeah,
that works perfectly. Gets the runners in scoring position. And if you're Blaine, I think you'd gladly trade the run for the out here because you have the 2-0 lead.
Addie Vocati looking for her first hit of the season. 0 for 8 will take a strike there.
Vocati
Nothing
hates
at
that
2.
call. You could tell she just snapped herself out of the batter's box. Thought that was maybe a bit outside, but call was made. It's 0-2.
Tying runs in scoring position here for Andover. Bottom of the second, 0-2, and the pitch fouled. And it stays 0-2 to Vocati with Kostecka, the designated player, just an 8th grader on deck.
And they've called her up recently with all the injuries. Looking for, and they're very high on that young player.
0-2, up high, good eye.
It's a pretty good waist pitch, although a little dangerous for Edwards because she doesn't have that, again, that blow-away power. So you leave one hanging up there in the zone, and that usually can get sent for a ride.
Steps back on the rubber, comes to the plate, 1-2, called strike 3.
Oh, frozen pizza on the outside corner. Nice pitch from Edwards. And that's a big second out. And now you can play for anything. You can get the infield at regular depth. You don't have to play him in.
And for Andover, that'll leave it up here to Alex Kostecka, the number 9 hitter. And Coach Huberty is going to... Oh, that isn't Kostecka. That's their
they're running the
hitter.
flex
They
in,
got
yep.
the flex. They got Polzine in there hitting.
Okay.
I'm glad that she came up and said that.
Thank you, Coach.
I was thinking it was Kostecka.
So
I didn't look at the number from this angle. It's hard to see. But it is Polzine who's hitting.
So they flex the pitcher to hit in this spot.
Trying to help herself out here. Runners at first and second and gets a strike there.
One of my favorite sports cliches right there, Jim. Well done, helping your own cause. I've got that on my bingo card.
Polzine hits 143, 2 hits, 14 at bats. The one strike foul to the right. That almost hit one of our camera guys. Either the camera or the camera guy. Who's worth more, the camera or the cameraman?
It might have hit my car on the fly, but I don't think it's going to cause any damage that way.
Good.
And I'm fully covered anyway, so
you
go
can
ahead
buff
and
out
hit
that.
it. Why don't you go ahead and knock it out? Just hit that thing as hard as you can.
You can buff out that optic yellow.
Oh, sure.
Pitches
yeah,
up high.
easy.
Polzin trying to knock a couple in here with 2 down in the bottom of the second, 2-0 Blaine.
I was more concerned about our camera crew, though. They almost ate that. I was very concerned.
It's a windy day up here, the high plains of Andover. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got her. What a piece of pitching there by Emma Edwards. She struck out 3 in a row. She came in with 12 strikeouts on the season. She gets 3 that inning. There were 2 on and nobody out, and she strikes out Winter, Vocati, and Polzin. And that's all for the Huskies in the bottom of the second. They get a hit, but they leave 2, and we played 2. It's 2-0 Blaine over Andover on QCTV Sports.
There's one thing we can all agree on: the promise of our Constitution and the hope that liberty and justice is for all people. For over 100 years, the ACLU has fought on behalf of millions of Americans, protecting our vote and our voice, freedom to love who we love, the right to choose, and much more.
Learn how ACLU's defending free speech and all our civil liberties at myaclu.org.
I'm Naheem Hines, proud supporter of the Muscular Dystrophy Association. My mom has muscular dystrophy, and the MDA helps her and kids like my buddy Ethan.
My name is Ethan, and I'm 12 years old. Thanks to the Muscular Dystrophy Association and people like you, I have more hope than ever before. And MDA funds over 150 care centers for kids like me.
For over 70 years, MDA has been transforming the lives of people living with muscular dystrophy, ALS, and related neuromuscular diseases. Learn more at mda.org today.
Bengals come to the plate, top of the third inning, 3, 4, and 5. Way, Vogel, and Edwards, they lead at 2-0.
This is not part of the Taylor collection of music. I think where somebody else has got control of the music in the truck today. It's lovely. It's lovely.
Bordering on funky.
Yeah, kind of got like a little techno feel to it. It's kind of dope. Oh, man. Ryan in the truck dropping his tunes in there.
So
Fantastic.
The Bengals, Caitlin Way, knocked in the first run of the game back in the first inning. And she'll take low from Polzin. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, Way had the big hit back in the first.
Hits this one well to center. And it is one hopping the fence out in center past Johnson. Here comes Way. Throw comes in, and Way is in with a doubles. And that's a 2-hit game here for Caitlin Way. A single and now a double, and boy, did she hit that one well to center.
Yeah, I didn't think a ball had a chance to get out of here today, but man, that's one hop in the wall, and you felt like she could have even got more of that one, so maybe it's possible. And that's the 3rd extra base hit of the day for the Bengals. That's a big part of why they're up 2-0 is they're able to get big chunks.
Way now 2 for 2. Here's a swing and a miss by Vogel. Vogel reached on an error. Fielder's choice. Technically, the error was on the play at second back in the first inning. A run in the first, run in the second here for Blaine, and with nobody out, they've got another runner in scoring position here.
Yeah, they're not playing station-to-station baseball here, or softball, or any kind of ball, right? I mean, it's not like we're just picking it off one base at a time. They're getting the extra base hits, and they're hitting it out to the outfield, and it's putting a lot of pressure on this Andover defense to try to combat the wind and try to catch these runners as they try to get these extra bags.
That last pitch fouled back, 0-2. Change up, good eye as Vogel held up. Farber comes up with the ball. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and that one in the dirt.
And normally these slugging teams, they try to do it. Teams that score a lot of runs, it's normally done with that sort of station-to-station, get a bunch of hits, maybe get a home run or 2. It's kind of not what this Blaine team does.
Low again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Edwards on deck.
Polzin with some sweet shades.
As do you. 2-2. And it's high. 3-2. I don't think I've ever called a game with sunglasses on. Usually I have actual glasses on. For softball, it's close enough that I don't need it.
But today you needed it just for eye protection. I'm very concerned about your eyes.
I should have went to the wood shop here at Andover High School and got myself some safety goggles.
Yeah, you could have probably. I'm sure somebody's got some for you.
3-2 pitch, knocked down by Polzine. That got a piece of her. She still has the wherewithal to play it over to first. They get the out. Way advances to third, 1 down.
Yeah, and they're going to give her a second here.
Yeah.
Umpire doing the right thing and thinking, just kind of checking in on the young pitcher after that, because that one coming hot at Caitlin Polzine. Credit Polzine, got, I think, enough of the glove up to knock that ball down.
Savvy play.
Very much so. And then had the wherewithal to kind of stay with it. I mean, but that was coming at her right away. Those comebackers are always a little scary.
1 out. Here's the number 5 hitter, Emma Edwards. Doing the pitching here today, the senior struck out her last at bat.
With that, Way was able to get to third.
Swing and a miss, 1 strike.
So now something on the ground, maybe towards short or second, you get the run home.
Blaine trying to add to their lead. 1 in the first, 1 in the second. Try to add to that here in the third.
Try to keep the picket fence going here.
Polzine on the rubber, rocks back. The 1 strike is now 0-2. That one just hit the outside corner, just above the belt. 0-2 here to Edwards.
And if you're watching and you're a young, fast-pitch pitcher, Caitlin Polzine is a good person to watch because you notice there's no real wasted motion with her. It's a very efficient delivery.
Swing and a miss. Struck her out on the 0-2. Got her up in a high pitch. Rise ball maybe. 2 strikes, 2 outs now. And that's on the strikeout here for Polzine. That's strikeout number 5.
Yeah, that climbed the ladder in a hurry.
So that'll bring up Emmy Sylvia Cochran. Wearing that number 86. Strikeout victim back in the first. Polzine now 1 out from getting out of this jam here with that runner at third. And it's strike 1 to start out here by Polzine.
Polzine with 5 strikeouts today. Certainly well on her pace.
Yeah, 45 now on the season. 1 strike popped up infield. Second baseman Ludi says she's got it. Shields from the sun. And then a late lunge into the outfield grass, able to make the catch. Good job by Andover. Good job by Polzine after giving up the leadoff double here, Tim. They get him out 1, 2, 3. Polzine sets him down in order as we go to the bottom of the third. Still 2-0 Bengals.
You could see there, even on that replay, there is no such thing as a routine out in these conditions. Every ball is going to be contested. You really got to be grounded in your fundamentals and stay with it. And that was a great job that time by Ludi. Ludi that time, the second baseman, who was able to just stay with it and probably fight, no doubt, the sun, no doubt the wind, and able to come away with it with a big out. Let's go to meteorologist Jim Erickson there in the weather desk. What do you got for today's game here? Looking nice. It's a good day.
63, but the feels like is more like 55 with the wind. Wind
Looks
is
like
out of the north.
22 miles an hour.
22 mile an hour sustained wind. Probably gusting higher than that. Humidity, a balmy 16%.
I could take that all year, though. If they
the
wanted
rest
to give
of the afternoon, fair and breezy.
I would take 16% humidity all year long. If
They
we could
should
get
have
it.
added dusty,
Dusty
in there as well.
Very
Fair,
dusty.
breezy, and dusty.
Very much so.
I usually travel with a can of Lemon Pledge.
Yeah,
I forgot.
You may not be able to wear those jeans a second day. Those may have to get the wash before you
well, they're going to be sand washed. They're going to be, sandblasted. So the bottom of the third here for the Huskies, top of their order. Maya Johnson takes a pitch in the dirt, ball 1, 1-0.
That was a big job there by Polzine and Andover to get out of that third inning. They had a runner at third with 1 out, did the Bengals, and you'd like to think if they would have put that runner across and gone up 3-0, that's when things start to feel a little dicey. You start to worry a little bit. Look out, cars. My favorite right there.
My favorite is the guy in the car.
In the car,
covering
still
his head.
covering his head.
Yeah,
Very concerned.
That's a car owner that is not confident in the roof in his car.
Certainly not.
He is not confident. What is that, a Nissan? I don't know if they've had issues with their car roofs in the past. They easily collapse. I don't know. Does he have a soft top? I
think he was just very concerned because he was counting the money. Like he was just like, well, there's 100, there's another 100.
He was computing his deductible is what he was doing.
Exactly what he was doing.
So here's Chloe Brown, or excuse me, it's still Maya Johnson. We're just dazzled by what's going on in the parking lot.
Nobody said us broadcasters were very focused, in these things.
Not at
Sometimes we
all.
can be very easily distracted, just like anybody else.
We're like a
right?
couple of dogs and there's a squirrel. 2 strikes here to Edwards. Pulled foul.
It's a big one for the top of the order. Johnson did ground out in her first at bat, but obviously somebody who gets the offense started, and this would be a great time to go ahead and do that. Try to get on base any way you can.
Fouled again at the plate. Good battle here between Edwards and Johnson. Johnson in the bottom of the first inning grounded to second. She's 0 for 1.
Edwards has been able to grind a little bit here. Has given up some base runners, but has hung in there.
Hit in the air, right center. Wynn pushing it away, and a running catch by Bryant, the center fielder, as she flags it down. 1 out.
Wow. Great speed by Bryant out in center field. That was just continuing to trail away from her. I was a little worried that wasn't going to be her ball, that it almost should have been the right fielder's ball, but she stayed with it, had a good beat on it, and put it away.
That's the thing with the Wynn, though, because the center fielder right off the bat, that's their ball. And then the right fielder thinks that as well, so they almost take their eye off it. And the center fielder just has to keep tracking and tracking and tracking because of the wind. And boy, did Bryant do a nice job there.
Bryant was basically in right field when she made that catch.
Yes. It hung up for her. 1 ball here to Brown, 1 out in the bottom of the third for Andover, looking for their first run, trailing it 2-0.
It's the first fly ball of the game.
Really, everything else has been either ground ball or a line drive. We had the little pop-up in the infield last inning, but that's really the first fly to the outfield.
Edwards not really known as a fly ball pitcher. She will get ground balls.
The 2-0 pitch is a strike, 2-1. Emma Sylvia Cochran has pitched a little bit here this season as well and has done well. That's fouled back.
Yeah, you said they threw out, what, 4 pitchers last night? 3 pitchers.
Yeah, they went with their 3 pitchers, and those are their 3 pitchers. Klein, Sylvia Cochran, and Edwards have all pitched at least 4 innings. Klein's pitched 4 this season. Sylvia Cochran 12 1/3, and coming into this game, Emma Edwards 29 1/3. Swung on and got that drop ball, swung over the top in the dirt. Brown gets tagged out by the catcher Jones, 2 down.
And that might have been a precautionary move last night by Blaine. Talked to Zach Nienaber a little bit before the game, and they had played a lot last week. They played 4 games in 5 days, and one thing he said, that the practicing, we kind of didn't even throw on Friday's practice. Just kind of we were a little banged up after, that many games in that many days. And
Heppel steps in, strike at the knees, and Edwards doing a nice job keeping the Huskies off balance, throwing strikes, getting key outs, and already with 4 strikeouts. It's got to be her season high. She came in with just 12 on the season. 1 strike up high. 1-1.
And obviously, you keep throwing zeros up, you're going to keep getting thrown out there inning after inning.
7th appearance here for Emma Edwards this season in the pitching circle. There's a called strike again, and she's ahead of her, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And that just locks up the hitter at the knees.
Barber's due up next. Andover batting in the bottom of the third.
Makes me think that was off speed of some sort.
1-2 pitch. Hit on the ground. Took a little hop there to the second baseman Schmitz. It kind of skid to her glove. She was able to go down and get it. And Andover, it's our first 1-2-3 inning. They're retired in order. 1-2-3, top of the third inning here for the bottom of the third inning, and the top of the order going quietly here for the Huskies. We move on to the 4th. We played 3, and still 2-0 Blaine Bengals. Blaine 2, Andover nothing.
You've just eaten so much dust.
Well,
I'm a little
it's dust
concerned about you.
I don't know, somebody's hair from, I think, St. Francis. They must have a game going on up there.
There's a thought.
As we go to the top of the fourth here for the Blaine Bengals, and Sarah Klein, junior right fielder, walked, scored a run back in the second inning. Still 2-0 Bengals. Cruising right along here to the fourth inning. In the air, hit well to left field. Vocati going back, reaches up, and that is off the fence.
Ooh.
And she went down awkwardly. It's going to be a double here for Klein. And Vocati was going back from her left field spot, and she went down awkwardly. Now she was down on the ground, and she's back up and walking it off. And like we said before, the Huskies have already suffered a few injuries to some key players.
Yeah, I just think she just ran out of room. Looked like she hit that wall, but wasn't bracing herself for it. Was trying to make a play out there, and I think maybe thought, I mean, I'm sure she thought it was close to the wall, but trying to make that catch in a ball that just kept carrying despite the wind. And in the end, the wall collision, and just as they're checking on her right now, hopefully that she's hopefully she's all right. Let's see if we can take one more look and see if we can see how that kind of worked out with the wall there. She's going back for it. Yeah, it looked like actually she hit her hand or her glove hand
into the chain link.
And that might have been one of the rod parts of the fence, and that's not going to give very much.
No. Third double of the game here for Blaine. My first concern was that maybe she came down on her foot and rolled her ankle or something, up along the fence. Maybe there might be some uneven ground or something. But looks like it's more of what we would say in hockey, an upper body injury.
And there still could very well be some and then after you hit, of course, something that hard, I mean, what is your, what is your balance or equilibrium at that point if you hit hard and land funny,
Looks like Vocati's going to stay in there out in left field. After Coach Connie Huberty, she ran out there quickly knowing that, she's had some injuries already. Wanted to see her,
no doubt about it,
player almost immediately.
And she does not want to take on any more.
Nope.
No question. I think she doesn't want to hear the word injury for a while. That gets her all the way through the volleyball season, too. Doesn't want to hear one up until at least next January.
Fifth hit of the game for the Bengals. And here's the left-handed swinging left fielder, Kylie Peterson.
Another interesting situation, slap hitter for Peterson. Will she try to slap one on the ground or try to bunt one?
And the pitch is up high.
So that answers that question. Thinking about bunting, because then you're going to be able to take Dunleavy off of third, put pressure on the shortstop, Heppel, to try to cover the runner going that way.
That's what Peterson did back in the second at a sacrifice bunt. Waves at this one and offers. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And some would argue that might be one of the keys to this game, the inability to execute the bunt. They had a chance first and second, did the Huskies back in the second, and a missed bunt kind of stalled out that inning.
1-1 pitch, pushes this one to the third baseman. Dunleavy comes in, makes the play, goes over to first. They get the out there. Second sacrifice bunt of the game for Kylie Peterson. And now that run is at second.
But they weren't able to
move.
They weren't able to move that runner. Yeah, no. So that one was hit a little too hard. First bunt from Peterson was perfect, right? Because it dropped like 1 or 2 bounces in front of the plate.
So it's not a sacrifice. 5-3 scoring play.
This one just came right to Dunleavy, and she played it perfectly and moved quickly. A quick look back at the runner and was able to throw her out at first.
So 1 down, runner still at second. And Kayla Schaefer, sophomore designated player, struck out back in the second. Huskies pitcher Polzine trying to keep this 2-0. It seems like runs are going to be at a premium here in this game today, as Emma Edwards is pitching very well for Blaine. 1 ball and 1 strike here to Schaefer, top of the order on deck for the Bengals.
And Blaine doesn't always manufacture their runs like that, but in that situation they needed to manufacture.
And And it's 1-2 strikes on the foul ball to the right side up over the dugout. 1-2. Polzine, 5 strikeouts, now 6 on the game. Swing and a miss. Second out of the inning, 2 down.
Basically an identical pitch to what she threw to Schaefer the first time around, something that rose up in the strike zone, around the letters. Schaefer unable to catch up.
Here's Maddie Bryan, 1 for 2 with an RBI. Double back in the second inning. Her 9th run batted in. That's team high here for Blaine. At the knees, strike 1.
Yeah, this top of the order for Blaine can really, they can rake. I mean, it seems like everybody's been able to get on base from the first 3 or 4 hitters of this order.
1 strike from Polzine. Changeup. Good eye by Bryant. Did not fall for it. 1-1.
Boy, that is absolutely a change of pace there, because that is not a pitch that we have seen from Polzine in this game.
The 1-1. Bouncer towards short. Heppel's going to have to move over. Dives. Can't get it. Runner rounding third. Klein comes in. The throw's in time. And she'll be tagged out. Third out at home. Good relay from the outfield. And that'll do it here for Blaine in the top of the 4th inning. No runs. That'll be a hit. But then the final out at home base here in the 4th inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, 3.5. Still 2-0 Bengals.
Looked like a bit of a late jump for Klein off of second base as Coach Nienaber at third was waving her home like almost instantly. And I think that's a coach on the road trying to get a run with 2 outs. Didn't want to have to try to get another hit. I don't mind that gamble right there from the coach, but clearly the runner I think was a little slow off of third. That jump off third was a little slow, almost like she was surprised that she got the go sign.
Yes. In that inning for the Bengals, no runs. They did get 2 hits, and they leave 1. And in the bottom of the 4th for the Andover Huskies, Addie Farber, Hallie Dunleavy, and Natalie Ludi, 4, 5, and 6 as the Huskies try to figure out Emma Edwards here.
And that goes back again to the missed on the bunt, right? The missed opportunity to move the runner over. Talked about that in the second inning with Andover. That missed bunt cost them, I think, the ability to score some runs. And then I think right there for Blaine, we saw that exact same thing, the inability to execute these little things. And that's something both coaches, I think, will probably talk about if you ask them at the end of the game. Like, man, got to take advantage of these little opportunities to move runners over. When we get those bunting opportunities at the plate, we got to take advantage of them.
Edwards starting her 4th inning, no runs, giving up just 1 hit. Struck out 4. Hit a batter and also a walk here for Edwards starting out her 4th inning.
We're going to take a look here again at this play. You have to wave at the plate at the top, and you can see, waving him, but see how big she kind of, that's that huge turn. Didn't take that turn very tightly at third base, just wound around the bag. She was practically on top of the coach in the third base box. And I think that slowed her down a step or two, and she was just meat at the plate.
Farber bats here for the Huskies, bottom of the 4th. And Edwards working quickly here. 1 ball, 1 strike. Farber grounded to second. 0 for 1 today here for the Huskies. 1-1 pitch outside.
I mean, and you want to take a big round from third so that you can get some momentum going to the plate, but it just felt like that momentum wasn't there when Klein made the turn.
2-1 from Edwards. Couple of hops to second. Schmitz, 1 down.
Well, it hasn't exactly, I mean, they haven't been a bunch of, diving stops or anything at Schmitz, but she's about as sure gloved on these routine balls as you're going to get. She's had about 4 or 5 hit at her today, even one in the last inning that wasn't exactly a candy hop or anything, and she was able to come up with it and make the easy play at first.
Edwards has retired 7 in a row now, with Dunleavy stepping in, single last at bat, and she will bloop this one.
The announcer's jinx
It
does it again.
certainly was, and that's Dunleavy's 2nd hit of the game. 2nd hit of the game for Andover and a 1-out base runner. Just a little bloop just out of the reach of Schmitz at second.
So maybe Hallie Dunleavy just needs to hit a little bit more for this team because she's got all the hits for the Huskies so far. Maybe she can get her bat lead off 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Maybe good things will continue to happen. But she's on now with 1 out. And here's Natalie Ludi.
Ludi, grabbed by Edwards, will go to second out there. Relay to first is not in time. Oh, that was close. And they said it was safe at second, so they didn't get the out anywhere. So there was no out.
Not on the bag.
Dunleavy thought that was an out. We'd have to see the replay how close that was. She thought she was out. So she was walking back to the dugout. There's the end of the play.
And I think they said that she just never got on the bag on the force play.
Yeah, probably. That had to have been it because the ball was there in plenty of time.
100%. Yeah, so they must have just thought that it yanked off the shortstop for the Bengals that time, which is Vogel, that she maybe wasn't on the bag or near the bag enough.
Ludi fielder's choice. Dunleavy on an error. First error charged to Blaine today. And Addie Winter bats for Andover and fouls the first one off.
I guess there's no neighborhood rule or anything like that. 'Cause,
No.
I mean, even then she may not have even been in the neighborhood.
Major leagues, you had to just be in the township back in the old days. One strike pitch. They call that a little closer now.
Yeah.
Pitch is high, 1 ball and 1 strike.
So here we are back again, first and second, this time with 1 out. But this is the second time the Huskies have been able to get in this situation in the game.
Winter's the batter, 1 ball and 1 strike. It was a nice fielding play by Edwards. Just did not get the force. Here's a slow roller past the shortstop Vogel.
I think they're going to get interference.
And that they are. I think they're going to say runner interference. So Dunleavy is out. So Blaine eventually gets that out that they thought they had at second and didn't get. And Dunleavy is out for the second out of the inning on runner interference.
Yeah, Vogel trying to play this kind of routine ball,
Yep.
but Dunleavy and Vogel collide midway through there, and that's going to be an easy call.
So Ludi at first, Winter technically on a fielder's choice, still first and second now, 2 down. Bocady with a 1 down the right field line, and that's under Klein's glove. This is going to tie the game. Ludi has scored. Winter has scored. Bocady with a triple to right field just under the glove of Klein, who tried to make a shoestring catch. And this game is tied at 2.
Yeah, this is one of those where you got to know the situation. If you're out in right field, you have a 2-0 lead. Let that ball play on a hop. You'll concede the 1 run if you want, but don't try to do anything crazy that could result in a play like that, a bases clearing triple, and now just like that, we're square at 2-2.
Ludi and Winter both scoring. Those runs will be unearned because of the earlier error that although that runner later was out, so I think those are going to be earned.
Yep.
If I go back and look and put on my official scores hat.
Now you get a look at the shot from Bocady.
Bocady with a triple, 2 runs batted in. And now Kostecka will bat in the number 9 spot, the designated player with the go-ahead run here for the Huskies 60 feet away.
Yeah, 2 down in the inning. Huskies just going to try to see if they can't get the clutch 2-out hit.
It's up high. Addie Bocady, the runner over at third, representing the go-ahead run. Andover's got a couple in here on a couple of hits. This one's chopped off the plate. Edwards has it. Underhand toss to first. Kostecka is out. But damage done here for the Andover Huskies. They get a couple of runs, couple of fielders' choices, couple of interesting plays on the infield base paths. But they tie it up in the big hit, the 2-run triple by Addie Bocady, and we go to the 5th. Tied at 2 here in Andover on QCTV Sports.
You're not gonna get it all right. Just make sure you nail the big stuff.
Mama!
Like making sure your kids are in the right seat for their age and size. Get it right at nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat.
Addie Vocati with her second and third runs batted into the season, tying this game at 2. We move to the 5th here, and it's a brand new ball game.
Well, we knew going in it would be a good game, Jim, and sure enough, it's lived up.
Yeah. Ball 1 here at Schmitz, Way, and Vogel. 2, 3, and 4 for this Blaine lineup. Has got 6 hits. This one's hit well, slicing down the right field line, and it looks like it's a fair ball. It is. Inside the line, and a double for Kendra Schmitz, her second double of the game and the 4th double of the game here for the Blaine Bengals, leading it off here, and all of a sudden the Bengals have that go-ahead run right back in scoring position.
Well, they've been able to get those. Now, they haven't been able to always bring this runner in from second. I mean, they were able to do it the first couple of innings, but they've been left stranded here the last couple. But, again, all you have to do is keep giving yourself chances, and they've done it here yet again in the 5th.
7th hit of the game. Kaylin Way is 2 for 2 today. Swinging a hot bat here for the Bengals. Takes a ball, 1-0.
Hit could be a run here depending on where it is hit. We'll see how aggressive Coach Nienaber is at third after the last runner gets thrown out at the plate in the last inning.
Way coming in, hitting .320. I mentioned 2 for 2 today. That average going up. And a good eye takes outside again. 2 balls and no strikes.
And Polzin is a strong workhorse pitcher, but has not had a 1-2-3 inning in this game today. Every inning has been a little bit of a battle.
2-0 low. 3 balls and no strikes.
Maybe nibbling a little bit here at the Bengal first baseman.
Bengals a run in the first, 1 in the second, and Andover scoring both of their runs in the bottom half of the last inning. 3-0 to Way. In the air, right field. Fly ball, right fielder is Brown. Waits for it, makes the catch. Schmitz tags up. Here's the throw. Not in time. Good backup play. It snuck towards the dugout area, but Schmitz advances on the fly ball, 1 down.
Boy, that could have been a gift if that rolled into the dugout. That was very, very close.
Yeah, a foot away or so of rolling in and out of play.
I was kind of waiting for the urgency for the Andover Huskies to get that ball, but that was very, very close. But either way, they got what they needed there. A sacrifice fly, runner to third base. Now a base hitter, even a ground ball just deep in the infield will bring the run home.
Emily Vogel, 0 for 2 today. First pitch swinging, fouled back, 1 strike.
You hear Coach Nienaber saying, stay aggressive in here. It's one thing we can say about the Bengal hitters today. They have not been shy. I mean, they're coming in and taking cuts.
0-1. Below the knees, 1-1.
You see a lot of hitters sometimes like to wait, get a strike, take pitches, work counts. Not really seeing that today. Both teams coming up and swinging.
Junior Polzin to the plate, foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bengals go-ahead run in the form of Kendra Schmitz down at third.
And this is who Blaine wants up, Vogel, in this spot.
1-2, high, all the way back to the screen, but it takes a nice bounce, and there was no way that Schmitz was going to be able to go.
And not a lot of room behind the plate, and if it hits hard enough off that fence, it can come right back to the catcher. Yeah. It's exactly what it did that time.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Polzin 2-2, popped up. Second baseman Ludi. And, her and the first baseman Winter, and that landed fair. So Ludi and Winter, Ludi had it, and Winter thought she did, and then I think Ludi thought that Winter was going to take over. Ends up being just an infield pop fly single for Vogel, but give her an RBI and give Blaine back the lead.
We talked about that a couple innings ago, that not every pop-up,
yes,
every ball in the air is going to be an adventure today, and there's an example of that right there. Communication not quite there, ball swirling around in the outfield, second baseman, first baseman not chatting, and that ball drops right between them.
Vogel's 3rd run batted into the season. That does not go as an error, as neither touched it. And Emma Edwards, the pitcher, struck out a couple of times here today. Polzin with 6 strikeouts. 1 down, runner at first, and Blaine has reclaimed the lead. There goes the run, throw down, and it's just a little bit late on the first base side as Vogel slides in with a stolen base.
And Bengals right now maybe sensing an opportunity here as they get really aggressive on the base pass with Vogel. Sender on just a straight steal.
Pitch was a strike to Edwards, 0-1. 3-2 Bengals now. High, 1-1.
And any ball in play is going to be an adventure probably the rest of the way. Wind seems like it is calming some, but it is, I mean, it's still very much there. It's a bit of a factor, and it will gust.
Hit well to center. Johnson going back, and this one is off the fence on the fly. Edwards heading to second. It'll be a double, another double, as Vogel scores 4-2 Bengals.
Wow. I thought that ball was taking out our QCTV van in center field.
He's hit
That
right
thing
at it.
Was just, again, on a line, well hit, just hit the top of the wall and stayed in the yard. And they'll do a courtesy runner in this spot for the pitcher. Looks like number 4, Haley Lavinka, the young freshman, will come in and run at second base for Blaine as the Huskies look to regroup a little. Just after 2 runs from the Huskies in the bottom of the 4th, you come back in the top of the 5th to get 2 more, and now it's 4-2 Bengals. Again, the lead by 2.
Edwards getting her 5th run batted in. That's the 6th double, second this inning, 6th of the game for the Bengals.
Well, they have proven that they can hit. They have definitely done that tonight.
Haley Lavinka is the runner at second, as you mentioned, Tim. And the batter, Emmy Sylvia Cochran. Ball 1.
I always talk about that when I see fast pitch games, is you get a chance to see this ball in the outfield. Look at how close this one was. Just off the top of the wall, another 1.5 feet maybe, and that thing's yard. And we're circling the pillows here.
1 ball pitch, good cut by Emmy Sylvia Cochran, fouled straight back. 1 ball, 1 strike in the top of the 5th.
I always say, though, if you could be a team that just knows how to put the bat on the ball and just make contact, force the defense to make plays, that's a team I like to bet on. Because even if you're not always pitching well or you're not always playing defense, if you can slug a little bit, you can hang.
1-1, inside-out swing, and she grounds it into center field for a hit. Lavinka rounding third, and she'll score. 5-2 Bengals on a clutch base hit here by Sylvia Cochran. Give her an RBI.
And this is where the kind of the pitching depth is an issue for the Huskies, because Polzin now, it's 3rd trip through the order. They've had a chance to see her a couple of times. She's had to work some long innings. Had to really put a lot of pressure on the arm. And there's not like a lot of arms to go to in these spots. So you're depending on Polzin to kind of take it the rest of the way.
Sarah Kleinbatz fouls it back, 1 strike. 3rd run batted into the season for Emmy Sylvia Cochran. And everybody getting into the act here for the most part for the Blaine Bengals. 4th hit of this inning. 10th of the game now. On the ground, sharply passed short. That's into left field. Sylvia Cochran stopping at second, Klein's at first. And the Bengals just continue to pummel the ball right now.
And now that'll bring up Peterson, the left fielder. Left-handed hitter. Been a bit of their slap hitter / kind of bunter in this spot, but not sure that they will have her bunt in this spot. I'd be interested if they do. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they do, but I would think that this is a slap swing away kind of moment, and now a conversation had here from Andover in the infield. Everybody's going to gather.
Blaine's other game here this week in a 3-game week. They played last night. Lost to Spring Lake Park 12-6. They will play on Friday at Anoka. They have Brainerd non-conference playing on May 8th at the College of St. Ben's. They're playing at St. Ben's. Andover's upcoming schedule. They play Thursday and Friday this week at Coon Rapids on Thursday, and then hosting Robbinsdale Armstrong. That'll be at Sunshine Park, just up it's Crosstown? What is it through here? Crosstown.
That's
it's
Crosstown,
Yeah, just a little bit up Crosstown there towards the community center and the hockey rink at Sunshine Park. They'll play under the lights on Friday with a 6:45 game time. And then Tuesday next week, they'll play at Elk River's beautiful softball facility under the lights there at 7 o'clock on Tuesday for Andover. Well, Polzin trying to end this inning here, minimize the damage. Still just one out. Kylie Peterson swings left, plays in left here today. Takes ball 1, 0 for 2, actually 0 for 1. She had a sacrifice bunt, and then what we thought was a sacrifice bunt, but the runner didn't advance, so it doesn't get credit for that, her last at bat.
And she doesn't square up right there, doesn't show, so she might be looking to slap this thing.
1-0 pitch, and she was with that trying to hit it the other way with that kind of inside-out swing, go the other way, fouls it back, 1-1.
And a nod in the third base box from Coach Nienaber saying, hey, that's exactly what we want right there. A little slap the other way. Maybe that one sneaks past Dunleavy. I think maybe that's what they're looking to do. Dunleavy playing in at third base.
Runs first and second. 3 runs in this inning, and that one fouled back. 1-2.
And there's really an art to this too, Jim, this slap hitting. If you can get this down, you become such a versatile weapon because you're hard to pitch to anyway because you're left-handed hitting, and I always think that's a challenge to right-handed pitchers.
Plus, a lot of the good slap hitters are halfway to first by the time they make contact, too, as you can see kind of with Peterson doing that, but she swings and misses on the 1-2 pitch, 2 down.
Great pitch there by Polzin, climbing the ladder on Peterson. And we're going to make a sub here. Says, I think I heard 20 for 8, so Bella Hunter potentially going to hit for Schaefer in this spot.
Yeah, and it is. It's Hunter. Bella Hunter, freshman, reserve infielder. Schaefer had struck out twice, 0 for 2 here today. Still first and second, swing and a miss. 1 strike to Hunter. This is Hunter's third game played. She does not have an at-bat yet, but she has scored 2 runs. She's walked, and she's gotten on some other way here that's not credited in the stats.
So it's an interesting move in this spot.
Yeah, she's walked once, scored 2 runs, 2 games played. Pitch to Hunter at the knees for a called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, these are spots that, you know, some coaches like to play their veterans, like to let their juniors and seniors have these ABs, but one thing you're seeing from Coach Nienaber today, not afraid to put freshmen in spots.
1-2 high, all the way back to the screen. Runners will move up. Wild pitch, Klein to second. Sylvia Cochran goes to third. Second and third, 2 down and a 2-2 pitch.
Hit to the outfield, could score 2.
Polzin trying to keep this a 5-2 game, and she does. Hunter down looking. Strikeout for Polzin, her 8th of the game. But 3 runs in for the Bengals. 3 runs, 5 hits, couple of doubles. And they leave 2 on here in the 5th. Bottom of the 5th coming up, 4.5 in Andover, and the Bengals have their largest lead of the game as it's 5-2.
And you got to be hacking in that situation. One thing that's been consistent has been that call at the knees all day, so you know that that's going to be there. Polzin certainly knew it. That's why she threw it in that spot, and I think you've got to make that adjustment.
5 runs on 11 hits here for the Bengals. Hitting over 300 as a team coming into today, 302. And they have been hot with the bats here today, and that has yielded their 5-2 lead. Still 3 at-bats left in the game for the home team, the Andover Huskies. They'll have the top of their order to start out the bottom of the 5th.
And if you're Emma Edwards, you've been pitching well. That last inning kind of got away from you at the end, so you'd like to get a quick inning here, especially after the long at-bat in the top half. You'd love to have like a quick 1, 2, 3. She's got one of those in this game. Maybe get some quick ground balls, get out of the inning as fast as you can.
Yeah, I kind of jinxed her when I said that she had retired 7 in a row, because then after that, a single, fielder's choice, then the triple.
Yeah, it was a bit of a chaotic inning there. There was base running stuff. There were people throwing the ball all over. We had some runner interference. We had all kinds of stuff.
Maya Johnson 0 for 2, leading off the bottom of the 5th for the Huskies. Edwards delivers first pitch on the ground to first, and a 1 pitch, 1 out. Johnson retired.
Boy, that's just what the doctor ordered right there. 1 pitch, 1 out, a little nubber off the end of the bat. A routine play for Caitlin Way over at first.
Chloe Brown, a walk and a strikeout here for the Huskies. Swing and a miss, 1 strike.
I think that's got to be the move here going forward if you're going to be Emma Edwards. I think you just fire as often as you can in the strike zone, and if they put the ball in play, don't be afraid of that.
Pitching with the lead, 1 strike. On the outside corner at the belt, 0-2.
It's kind of the old adage at that stage, right? When you have a little lead, kind of trust your defense. Don't nibble. Just go ahead and throw strikes.
Outside this time, 1-2. Connie Huberty coaching down at first in her 11th season. It's also the volleyball coach, the only volleyball coach Andover has ever had. 1-2 pitch off the handle towards Coach Huberty and foul down the first base line, 1-2.
You could tell talking to her a little bit before the game that the volleyball is never too far from her mind, as she was thinking already about what she had. Losing a lot, first of all, had a lot of talent this year, obviously go to college and graduating here, so she's going to be in rebuild mode. You can tell she was already sort of thinking about that.
1-2, high, back to the screen. 2 balls, 2 strikes with Lacey Heppel on deck here. Andover trying to get something going here, down 5-2. They were down 2-0, tied it at 2, and then Blaine came back with 3 runs in the last inning.
Coach Huberty, a bit of a throwback.
Goes down and gets this one, caught in the air. Nice play by Way. 2 down.
Yeah, nice job there by Caitlin Way, staying with that, catching it on the fly, just tagging on the base anyway, just to be safe. But when we say old school, I mean, it used to be back in the day that, you know, coaches would coach lots of things, right? You would be the head coach of a couple sports, or you'd be multiple assistant. Doesn't really happen that much anymore. So
especially at small schools. It still does at small schools, but
it's so specialized here in the big level where it seems like there's no off season for any of these coaches.
Trying to think of some examples. Connie certainly is, you know, some of the bigger sports. Jim Coltis, who's the softball coach for Maple Grove, is also their girls hockey coach. Hit in the air to right field. Looks like Klein has a – and she misplayed it. It's over her head.
Yeah, you could tell that was hit way harder than she was giving it credit for.
And Heppel will go to third. It'll be a triple. Either sun or wind aided there. Just Klein misjudged it out in right field, and Heppel will get a triple out of it. And one of those runs that Andover is trying to get back is now 60 feet away at third base.
Just felt like she never tracked that ball because she took like 1 step backward. And actually, I wonder if she took her first step forward and that maybe threw her off.
You can see she is fighting the sun, trying to shield her eyes out there in right field. That is the sun field.
Yeah, almost like she never saw it. And that thing just was way over her head before she realized it.
Farber bats 0 for 2, strike 1.
Yeah, I know, like, speaking of volleyball, Chris Fenwick at Anoka coaches golf over there, but I would think, you know, coaching volleyball and softball takes a lot of time.
0-1. Hit to the right side, out of play.
Her counterpart, Zach Nienaber, is a defensive coordinator at Coon Rapids football, so, and then there's a lot of that, right? A lot of assistants who will be ahead of something else, and so that's not uncommon. But to be 2 varsity head coach running 2 programs, very, very old school classic from Connie Huberty.
On the inside, just off the inside part of the plate, 1-2. Jim Coltis at Maple Grove, which is odd there, is that it's back-to-back. It's girls hockey, it's winter to spring.
Boy, yeah, no break.
And they have good teams in both of those sports at Maple Grove. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the Edwards pitch. Lifted right side, slicing foul. And it'll stay 1 ball and 2 strikes. Blaine played Maple Grove. That was a 2-0 loss back on April 27th, and Andover a close loss to the Crimson as well on April 13th. That was a 2-1 Maple Grove win.
They have a top drawer pitcher at Maple Grove who's going to be really hard to deal with.
1-2 delivery in tight. 2-2.
So a lot of games against Maple Grove are going to go that way, where you're going to have to need to try to win something 1-0, 2-1, something like that.
2 balls, 2 strikes here. Farber trying to get a run across with 2 down. And she swings and misses. Edwards got her to chase a pitch down low, and Farber down swinging. And Andover down here in the bottom of the 5th inning. They do get the triple, no runs, 1 hit. And that runner is left on at third. We played 5 full here at Andover High School. 5-2 Blaine here on QCTV.
Hey, boss. Okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
You sure?
Said I'm fine.
Since I was little, it was only like me and my parents.
You think you created family out of characters?
Yeah, of course.
I'm gonna take that, make it into a song. Put me to bed, see you in the morning. With the frosted Superman, but it wasn't on it. And we lost it. In my head, in my head, in my head. Where you at? Where you at? On the way out. In my head, in my head, in my head.
Hey, son.
Hey, Pop.
You can talk to me.
It's been really, really hard for me.
Not a sky, or not a cloud in the sky. We got birds, though. I can't tell what that is.
It's something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't really. I'm not really great in my bird watching.
No.
Not great. I don't have the binoculars. You had the binoculars. You
I
should have
do.
been
Yeah,
zeroing in on
but that was on
maybe.
camera. I don't know where it was.
Yeah.
It wouldn't do me any good to use the binoculars into the monitor.
Yeah, that's
That
true.
would
No,
not
but
have
somebody
been-
needed to. The eye in the sky needed to help you out a
Right.
little bit.
I
That's
needed
where,
some directional help there. I can tell a bald eagle.
Yeah. I also know that you're big into falconry on the weekends when you're not calling games. I know it's a lot of falconry.
Not anymore. It was there was an incident. So here come the Blaine Bengals in the top of the 6th inning, and it's the top of their order with Maddie Bryant, who's got a couple of hits here, a double and a single, 2 for 3.
This top of the order's been really good for Blaine. A lot of hits from this top 4 or 5 hitters.
Well, total of 6 hits from these top 3. As Bryant has 2, Schmitz has 2 doubles, Way has a single and a double. This Bengal team has 6 doubles. A lot of extra base power here today for Blaine. Pitch to Bryant. On the ground sharply. That's up the middle for a hit. So the hit parade continues here for Blaine. That's their 12th hit of the game. 3rd hit of the game for Maddie Bryant. And right now with their bats, they're having fun.
And we're seeing less and less strikeouts than we did earlier in the game. So starting to struggle with missing, not missing a lot of bats anymore. Not that she was missing a ton early in the game. She would get strikeouts, but certainly still get hits. But now, less strikeouts and everybody able to put the bat on the ball.
Kendra Schmitz bats, couple of doubles, 2 runs scored for Schmitz. Also grounded to second, looks outside, ball 1, 1-0. Top of the 6th here for the Blaine Bengals. 4-3 on the season. They lost to Spring Lake Park last week, even their conference record at 3-3.
Schmitz is a really good hitter, I think. A really gifted player. Fun to watch.
That last one just missed outside, 2-0. Bengals a year ago went 11-2 in the Northwest Suburban Conference and finished 2nd.
Both coaches yelling numbers.
2-0 popped up right side into the parking lot area.
And everybody holds their collective breath when that happens. Except for you, because you're parked 10
Yep.
miles down the road.
Yep. 2 balls and 1 strike.
think you're over at a Quick Trip somewhere.
I'm closer to 65 than I am here.
Probably
to
pretty
the field.
smart. Yeah, it's a pretty good idea. It's a longer walk for you, but you need to get your steps in anyway.
I do. 2-1. Off the end of the bat, roller up the middle, and a seeing eye base hit into center field for Kendra Schmitz. So it just doesn't matter here for the Bengals. They're getting hits in all kinds of ways. Line drives, that one just a slow roller, but right up the middle. Like I said, seeing eye between the infielders. 2 on and nobody out here in the top of the 6th.
Boy, those are the frustrating ones if you're a pitcher like Polzin, the 99 hopper that just rolls its way through the infield. Like, man, I finally got this hitter to not hit it sharply or hit it in the air to the outfield. We still can't get her out.
Schmitz now has 3 hits. Galen Way with 2 hits. Looks at ball 1.
And another, again, no chance at a 1-2-3. Another long potential inning for Polzin and Andover.
Low. Runners stay put. 2-0.
And ahead in the count now. If you're Polzin, it's tough to just serve a cookie here, but you got to bring one here to Way. You can't really nibble around and put another runner on.
Delivers 2-0, misses low. 3-0. Polzin has walked just 1 today. That was Sarah Klein way back in the 2nd inning.
Yeah, she's had great command, but now in this situation, do you kind of concede here, or do you bring one? And if you're Way, are you swinging?
3-0 low. 4-pitch walk, that loads him up. To third, Bryant. Schmitz to second. Weighs on at first with a free pass. And here comes Coach Huberty.
And again, not a ton of pitching depth at this point, but either, yep, and looks like they're going to come get her.
Yeah. Looks like they're going to bring in Vocati, who I guess technically is now their 4th pitcher. The sophomore. That's who they called in from left field.
So they're going to move Polzin out to center.
Polzin goes to center. Let's adjust here on the fly.
We'll see kind of where the musical chairs are here when the music's to take left. Yeah, Polzin will take left. So they're all gathering in the outfield. We'll see where it all goes when the music stops here. And Kosteka looks like is going to grab the mask and go pitch maybe. Or maybe not. We'll see. Kosteka's got a glove, though.
Let's see.
So Kosteka's got a glove.
Kosteka, yep.
A younger sister of another strong pitcher here that is out with injury.
Out with injury.
But they're obviously very high on this young player. 8th grader, Alex Kosteka. And again, I think they have high aspirations for this young 8th grader, but this is a tough spot to come into. Bases loaded, nobody out in the 6th. She's going to get as much time as she kind of needs to get loose. She's got good velocity. And like I said, I know it's a pitcher that they really like, but
so Polzin goes 5+, responsible for the 5 runs and 13 hits. Struck out 8, still responsible for the 3 runners that are on here. As we mentioned, Alex Kosteka, the 8th grader, will be called upon here. Tough spot for the young pitcher. Bases loaded to have to come in here and try and keep it 5-2.
So the question is then, did they just pull Vocati out of the game? And maybe that's where that's going to go here.
Yeah, I don't see number
not
one
a number one
there
anywhere, so they may have moved her out. Kosteka comes and pitches. Polzin takes over and left. If you're playing the home version of this game.
This will be the 2nd appearance for Kosteka. 5.25 ERA, 4 innings pitched entering this appearance. 5 hits, 5 runs, 3 of them earned, 4 walks and 2 strikeouts.
So welcome to the game, Alex Kosteka.
Right.
You get the cleanup hitter, Emily Vogel, with the bases loaded and nobody out. Although it's an interesting spot for Vogel, you get to see something completely different.
Here's the Kosteka pitch. Just missed. 2 balls and no strikes. Vogel today with a hit and an RBI. 1 for 3. Picked up her 3rd run batted into the season. last inning with an RBI single. 2-0 delivery, infield in. That misses.
She's
3-0.
Gone inside twice, gone outside. And again, when you're coming in this spot, you have a tendency to maybe overthrow, maybe force things a little bit. And that's kind of what it looks like from Kostecka. She's got great velocity.
Again, Polzine, the new left fielder, 3-0 pitch. Ball 4, bases loaded walk, and Vogel will drive in a run with the walk. Bryant comes in to score. 6-2 Bengals.
And you kind of saw that with that pitch from Kostecka, how she's sort of flying open, maybe not as tight with the mechanics. And again, just an 8th grader, so that's not surprising. But it's a big difference from Polzine, who I think has very tight mechanics, is very consistent in her delivery. There's a good pitch from Kostecka.
Yeah, 1 strike. Edwards taking there. Last time Edwards almost hit it out of the park. Hit it at towards the top of the fence, couple of feet shy. The top of the fence and straight away center field. Got an RBI double, 5 runs batted in on the season now. And the 0-1 pitch in a little tight. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bases still loaded. A run in here, now 6-2 Bengals.
And a base hit to the outfield could be a KO here as they look to try to clear the bases and get a big inning, put up a crooked number in the 6th.
Back-to-back walks given up by Andover pitching here. 1-1 delivery in the dirt. It snuck past Farber. But the runner at third, all the runners playing it safe here, 2-1.
Yeah, I don't even know if Schmidt's got a good read on that because she didn't even bluff towards the plate. And maybe they're playing for the big inning here. And again, Kostecka does seem, again, like there's a lot going on in that delivery.
Edwards bounce it towards third. Dunleavy will come home. Force play there. They got the out.
Oh, boy, slid right into Farber in the back of her leg. Hopefully she's okay with that one. That'll hurt.
Looks like she is. So that's exactly what the doctor ordered there. Edwards safe, fielder's choice at first. And Schmitz is out third to home. First out of the inning. Everybody else moves up. Bases are still loaded.
And they're going to get an extra second here. And I think Coach having a word with the umpire about maybe the slide into the leg of the catcher. An umpire explaining that nothing intentional there. No interference to be had.
No.
And I think that's the question is maybe there was their interference for the catcher.
To try and get it out somewhere else.
Exactly.
Could she have made the relay to first?
And it would have been a tight play. Could have, though. It happened kind of quickly. Maybe just getting some clarification on that. And here's Sylvia Cochran.
Emmy a strikeout, a fly out, an RBI single her last at bat. First pitch from the 8th grader Kostecka misses.
Kostecka seems to miss on the inside often. I think that's 4 or 5 times already in just her couple of ABs in because she's trying to hit that corner.
Yeah, she's not missing by much.
Like I said, she snaps it out of there pretty quickly. Some good velocity.
1-0. Again inside, 2-0.
You're just trying to figure out, is it a release point thing or is there just too much movement on that pitch right now? It's kind of hard to tell from this vantage point.
Bases still full of Bengals in the 2-0. Outside, 3-0. Again, nowhere to place Sylvia Cochran on the base paths.
And that's just a classic overthrow right there when you miss on the outside. You're kind of flying open with your shoulder. Oh, boy. No harm, no foul there.
And ball 4. You had thought that she had started her motion.
Maybe started her motion.
Off.
No, but that looked like it. It was a little close.
That'll knock in a run with the bases loaded. Way comes in. Now 7-2 Bengals. Give Emmy Sylvia Cochran an RBI, her second of the game, 4th of the season. Vogel to third.
They brought in Havlinka once again.
Havlinka again, so she's at second base. And then Sylvia Cochran over at first. Batter will be Sarah Klein.
And they're trying to – I like the fact that this varsity team trying to rally behind this 8th grade pitcher here for Andover. This is a tough spot for a kid to be in, no question about it, right? And I like the fact that those veteran players trying to fire up this young 8th grader, just trying to keep her spirits up. And that can sometimes be a challenge in these spots, right? A couple of walks, maybe overthrowing a little bit of nerves.
Now, you got to kind of forget about the runners here and just try to get an out. And Klein takes ball 1, 1-0. Klein with a 2-for-2 day here so far. Double, single, walk, run scored. 1-0 pitch.
And this
low.
is a good time for some situational ball. You're right, Jim. Kind of forget score, forget runners, and do the game within the game here. Try to go one-on-one with the person at the plate and just say, you know what, I'm going to get this hitter here. And this is a good way to build some confidence and some experience for different games in later times.
Quick throw to third. 3 balls and no strikes to Sarah Klein here for the Blaine Bengals.
And it's easier said than done to say that sometimes, right? To say, well, don't worry about the score and don't worry about that. But you almost have to in these situations to keep yourself really mentally sharp.
There's a called strike, 3-1. 5 runs across here for the Bengals in the last 2 innings. 3 in the 5th, now 2 here in the 6th.
Infield playing in. They're definitely going to come home with anything hit on the ground.
And on the off the inside corner, ball 4. That'll bring in another run. Bogle scores. Now 8-2 Bengals. And the walks are certainly haunting here in this 6th inning for the Andover Huskies. 1-2, this is the 4th walk of the inning, and the 8th batter to step up, Kylie Peterson.
And clearly, I don't think they necessarily dreamed of this situation, Coach Huberty, but clearly Polzin kind of was running out of steam and running out of gas, and you got to get some innings, got to get some outs from somebody. So they're really hoping that Kostecka can maybe be that second arm that they can count on to get innings, to get outs.
There's a strike there. Still just 1 out.
And it's pretty fresh right now. They just had a recent injury to their second pitcher, which I know, Surgener, I know that's certainly weighing on the mind of Coach Huberty.
0-2. Off the handle, and that's going to loop into center. That'll score 1, station to station. RBI opposite field base hit for Kylie Peterson. 9-2 Bengals.
That's the slap working right there for you. With the infield drawn in, you don't play the bunt game. You go ahead, let the hitter hit, try to pop it over the head of the shortstop. And they go back to Schaefer here from Bella Hunter after that last trip around the order.
Bases still loaded. 9th batter to step up. And there's a strike to start it out. Schaefer struck out twice, and then Bella Hunter came in and struck out in the 5th. So 3 strikeouts in this number 9 spot for the Bengals, and Kostecka would love to get that here. Good start with getting the first strike. That one's in the dirt. Good backhand by Farber, 1-1.
I'd like to see Kostecka kind of walk off and look at the wristband from not in her set pitching position, just because you feel like when you're in that position you want to throw.
1-1 pitch, roller to short. They'll come home, force out there, throw to first, close but not in time. So force out at home, that prevents a run from scoring. It stays 9-2 and now 2 outs with Schaefer safe on the fielder's choice.
Yeah, nice job there by Andover executing the force play at home with the infield in. Now you can move the infield back to normal depth and 2 out, bases still loaded.
Bengals now batted around. Here's Maddie Bryant, who started the inning with a single and looks at strike 1. Kostecka hitting the strike zone with a little more regularity here the last couple of at-bats.
Well, she didn't get a long warm-up. Maybe it takes a little while to kind of get going.
Pitch high there, 1 ball, 1 strike. Bryant, who singled earlier this inning, 3 hits in the ball game with a run scored and an RBI.
See, I like that better. You know, she's not in the set position that time looking at it, and then she gets back ready.
And delivers. On the inside corner at the knees, 1-2.
For me, it's just about routine as a pitcher, right? And really about anything, but you like routine. You like to do everything the same way every time. Like even there, she's now behind the circle looking at it.
1-2 with the bases loaded, bounces it up the middle. Nice little shovel between Ludi and Heppel in close proximity, and they get the force out at second, and Blaine retired in the top of the 6th inning. But damage done here for the Bengals. They come up with 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and they leave the bases loaded. Bottom of the 6th coming up, 5.5, and now all of a sudden 9-2 Blaine.
Blaine got what they needed in that last couple of innings, right? So Andover ties the game at 2 after 4. It's a seemingly like a pretty interesting matchup. Like, you felt like Blaine was obviously getting more hits, more opportunities, but there Andover was tying the game, and you wondered if the momentum was going to flip and go the other way. But the quick answer in the 5th by Blaine to get the 3 runs and now 4 in the 6th. It's a big confidence booster for this Blaine team. And Edwards has done a nice job every time. You know, she had obviously gave up the 2 runs back in the 4th, but most of the time, Blaine's been able to put a number up in the top of the inning. She comes up and works a fairly quick bottom of the inning. Has not had a lot of base runners on. Has not had to pitch in as many high leverage situations other than the 2nd inning. When we go all the way back to that is maybe the key point in this game, Jim, right? Where if, you know, 2nd and 3rd with 1 out or nobody out.
There's
really
nobody
for Blaine.
Out. Yep, nobody out 2nd and 3rd.
And you say, boy, she wiggled off the hook there, and you just wonder what that would have done if Andover would have cashed in with a couple of runs there quickly. Could have changed the whole complexion of the game, but the fact that Edwards was able to get out of that jam.
Yeah, she struck out 3 in a row. 7, 8, and 9 back in the 2nd inning. So really came up big.
And
like
not a
said,
strikeout pitcher doing that, right?
Right, yeah. Had just 12 coming in 29 to 3rd innings pitched. She faces Dunleavy, Ludi, and Winder. Andover needs a bunch here. 1-strike pitch on the ground, grabbed at 3rd by Sylvia Cochran, tosses it across the diamond, and there's 1 out.
Blaine better fundamentally today. That's one thing we can look at from last night when they made a bunch of errors, booted the ball around. Today, not so much. Played pretty well.
Yep.
A couple of scary plays in the outfield, but by and large, ground balls in the infield have been routine.
Yep. Only 1 error officially against the Bengals fielders here today. Batter Ludi pulls one wide, well wide of 3rd, down past the dugout, 1 strike. Ludi hit by a pitch, fielder's choice. Runs scored earlier here today. One of those 2 runs scored by the Andover Huskies. Edwards comes to the plate, 1 strike. Now 0-2.
Just like Polzine, Edwards, very efficient. Again, not a hard thrower, but you look at the delivery, you look at the way she's able to locate the ball in and out, high, low. Not a lot of wasted motion.
0-2 delivery, pulled foul again, and she's in the circle here with a 9-2 lead, so she can pitch with some confidence, get some rhythm going here, and has really done a good job here for these Blaine Bengals, coming in at 3-3, and her earn run average 1.43. So she's been solid all season long. The 2-strike pitch foul back towards the parking lot again, just past the QCTV mobile production unit.
Thought we were going to get our first one there.
Still 0-2. Winter on deck, 1 down, nobody on.
Ooh,
and that hit her on the forearm.
Ouch. And that's such an
And that's the second
one.
time she was hit by a pitch earlier. So that's the second time that Natalie Ludi has gotten beamed. So she'll go to first.
Edwards questioning, wondering if she maybe offered it that, but umpire doesn't think so. And now we're going to have a conversation about it maybe. I think they want to get a ruling to see if Ludi offered at it. I don't know if she did right there.
No,
Not
it's more
based
of a
on that. No, I think
check
that's
swing.
a check swing maybe. Or did she get a piece with a – yeah, I didn't see a swing there.
We had a perfect – I thought it hit her right on the forearm.
Yeah.
You know, just
above
the wrist.
Like the bat might have tried to get in the way there a bit, but yeah, not a swing, not an offer.
Here's Addie Winter. First pitch swinging. That's into center field for a hit. Ludi will pull into second base, put on the brakes there. A hit by pitch, and now a single here for Andover. 2 on and 1 out. That's their 5th hit of the game.
And this is another one, and we talked about this a little in the last inning, but this is where you do have to forget about the runners here if you're Edwards. You got a 7-run lead. You just want to get the hitter at the plate.
Abigail Dewar is going to hit. The senior plays a little infield, plays a little outfield. She'll hit for Vocati, who was in left and then was pulled. So Dewar, a lot of Addies and Abbies on this Husky team. There's another one. That sounded like solid contact.
That was really close to my vehicle there, but I'm hoping it was not.
Focus on the game, Tim. Come
I'm
on.
sorry. I'm just, what can I do?
I have Bondo in my truck. We can patch it up at the end.
Well, that's a good point. Ooh.
And Dewar fouls that one off her foot.
Yeah, those are the ones you feel in the morning right there.
No balls and 2 strikes here to Dewar. Vocati had tripled. That was that little sinking line drive to right field that snuck under the glove and went past Klein that knocked in the only 2 runs at this point here for Andover. 0-2 pitch, high and away.
That's the big piece here if you're Blaine, right? Don't allow anything to get past you in the outfield. Almost get into that no doubles defense. Concede singles if you have to in this spot, but do not allow anything to get beyond you to where you can let a big inning happen.
The 1-2 on the inside corner, got her looking. And Dewar had a look of disappointment on that as she walks back to the dugout, 2 down.
Yeah, I think she thought that was coming inside on her, but it stayed right on the corner, says Blue, and you got to go sit on it.
6th strikeout for Edwards. Half her season total coming into the game today. And that'll leave it up to Alex Kostecka, who's now doing the pitching. Steps in here, and we'll look at ball 1.
It's the interesting thing with Edwards, right? She doesn't strike out a lot of hitters, but it seems like when she needs a big strikeout, she can go get one. We saw that in the second. I think we see that right here.
The 1-ball pitch, straight back, foul.
And now Edwards ahead in the count. Going to see if she can get out of this little mini jam here in the 6th.
Winter at first, Ludi at second for the Huskies. Little high, 2-1.
Nice job there by Kostecka trying to make herself as small as possible in that situation as that was starting to rise up. And a good job of laying off of that. That is so tempting for a hitter to go after that pitch.
2-1 still. Edwards low. Good block by Jones. 3-1. Kostecka pitched against Rogers back on Tuesday of last week. It's a 12-8 loss here for Andover against the Royals. And here she takes low and draws a walk. That loads the bases for the first time today for Andover.
And that gets the top of the order up with Maya Johnson.
So it's 9-2, but Huskies have a chance with 2 down if they get some clutch 2-out base hits here. Chip away at this 7-run deficit.
Outfield playing back a bit. Maybe normal depth, maybe a little deeper than normal depth.
Maya Johnson, big cut and a miss, 1 strike. Johnson 0 for 3. Ground out, fly out, ground out. The Edwards pitch, fouled at the plate. 0-2. Edwards getting ahead.
Edwards taking a little more time between pitches that time, getting her sign, taking the extra beat or 2 to sort of collect herself, changing the routine a little bit, of the rhythm a little bit of these Andover hitters. Working just a little more deliberately.
With the bases loaded, in tight. 1-2.
Pretty good waste pitch right there. You got that call in the corner in the bat earlier. Tried to see if you could maybe get one there.
Chloe Brown would bat if Johnson can continue the inning with 2 down and the bases juiced. 1-2 pitch. Bouncer to short. Vogel's got a shot at it. Throw to first and got her in time. Andover threatens, but they do not score in the bottom of the 6th inning. No runs. 1 hit, and they leave the bases loaded. We move on into the 7th. It's Blaine 9, Andover 2 here on QCTV Sports.
had to leave my baby in the hospital NICU.
If we come together, we can help every mom and baby be healthy and strong.
Joy March for Babies, a mother of a movement.
Kids across America are going to school hungry. Millions of kids every day. But one simple thing can help change all of this for a hungry child in America. Good, healthy food and the energy it brings. With help from caring people across America, No Kid Hungry is providing healthy meals and hope to hungry kids so they can build better futures. To learn more about ending child hunger in America, go to helpnokidhungry.org.
We roll on into the 7th inning, top of the 7th for the Blaine Bengals, and they lead it here 9-2, looking to pick up their 5th win of the season. Coming in 4-3, won 15 games a year ago, and this season has not been a kind spring. It's been a shortened season. I know there was, at least they played in April this year. There was that one year. I want to say, is that the year of 2012? When was that, where they didn't start playing until
there was some
May?
snow. Yeah, there was some. I can recall there's been a few of those snowstorms that have kind of happened mid-April that have thrown a wrench into plans.
And, of course, 2020, there was no season because of COVID-19.
And there was snow that April, too, but that didn't matter.
Right, didn't matter. So here come the Bengals.
Yeah, it was a long winter. I don't know. It's a 6-month winter and a lot of snow. Record snowfall pretty much everywhere across the state, slowing every sport down. Unless you're really in southern Minnesota, you might have been playing a little longer.
That and golf, too.
Yeah.
Kendra Schmitz, 3-hit game here for Schmitz. She leads it off the handle from Kostecka. Roller to short. Good stretch at first by the first baseman, Winter.
Big confidence booster there for Kostecka, the 8th grader. Come out, get the leadoff person out, get a little ground ball, build some confidence, especially against this top of the order that is so good for Blaine and has been so good in this game.
Way has a couple of hits, an RBI. Bats with the bases empty. Kostecka, second pitcher in relief of Polzine here today. Throws that one into the dirt, 1-0.
Should like to see here, now that you're coming in with a clean inning, no base runners on, try to work as quick as you can. Try to see if you can get a little rhythm, maybe try to send Blaine down in order. Ooh, look out.
That one off of the glove of Farber. Misses, 2-0.
Gave Caitlin Way something to think about, I'll tell you that. That one was coming in tight.
Bengals with the nifty white helmets.
Nifty colors in general.
2-0, low, 3-0. A baseball game last week on Thursday. Just across the way was Champlin Park here at Andover, an exciting Andover come-from-behind win, but Champlin Park also has the white helmets. 3-0.
Maybe trying to tap into the Twins vibe a little bit.
Got the count wrong, huh? 3-1?
Maybe 3-1 in there. Kind of reminds you, the Twins have kind of done that this
year.
Well,
those are
on with the old school,
the
throwbacks.
Old school from the latter half of the 70s.
You remember it well?
I do. I had one of those replicas, and that's going to be in the dirt, ball 4. So a one-out base runner, way to first. Vogel up to the plate here. In fact, we're going to have time called.
Maybe
a runner at first.
Runner for Way at first base. And this is one thing Coach Nienaber is going to try to do is Lillian Wright comes in, another freshman, trying to utilize his bench as much as possible. Try to get as many people into the game. When you're first year in a program, you're trying to, I think, establish some things and see what you have.
So when I had the replica Twins helmet from the 70s, and it had the red, white, and blue, the red bill, the white front, and the blue back.
You had ice cream in that first?
No, this was a real one.
Oh, the real one.
Not a real
okay.
one, but not for ice cream.
Sure, certainly not.
Although for me, maybe ice cream. I ate a lot of ice cream back in that day.
For me,
yeah,
it didn't matter the size of the helmet.
Full size. But I would scrape the white off a little bit because that's what Rod Carews looked like.
Oh, yeah.
Here's the delivery right at the knees, 1 strike. And I don't know, some of those helmets, Rod Carew didn't have any ear flaps, so his was kind of a low profile. It looked kind of funny. but his white paint on the front was always chipped. And I don't know if the Twins were too cheap to paint it or what, but so I went and I bought a brand new helmet, but then I'm scraping off the white paint.
Maybe that's it.
So it
Maybe
looked
he
like
just
Rod
didn't like
Carew.
it. Maybe it was good luck.
Maybe he scraped it off too. And it's inside there, 1 ball and 1 strike.
I had the same thing growing up watching. I was always a Twins fan, but watched a lot of White Sox games. Ozzie Guillen would always have the pine tar on his helmet.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
And you never would be able to see the logo.
1-1 pitch. A little bit behind that one. Swing and a miss. Throw down to second.
Got her.
And Wright is caught stealing. Second out of the inning. Good throw by Farber. Good tag on the other end. Now 2 down.
Andover smelled that one coming because they make the base running move to move way out for the faster freshman Wright, and you had to figure they were going to go try to manufacture another run here.
That pitch was a strike that she went on. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kostecka to the plate. Low and away, 2-2. And I still have that helmet packed away somewhere.
Look at you.
It's funny. The other day when they were wearing those games, those at a home game, I was going to go and find it somewhere and pull it out just to take a look at it. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Struck her out. Good velocity there. Kostecka faces the minimum. The senior will bat. It was the number 2 batter that was due up, Chloe Brown. So Olson a chance to bat to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning against Emma Edwards. Edwards takes to the rubber here with a comfy 9-2 lead, and she starts out Olson strike 1.
Yeah, been impressed with Edwards. You can see she struck out a few. She's got 6 strikeouts today. But the one thing that's been impressive is she just seems like she's able to work herself out of trouble, get the ground ball when she needs it. And it's not like they're hard ground balls. It's been a lot of slow rollers and routine stuff.
Olson 1 hit in 3 at-bats coming in here. Does have an RBI and pushes this one towards first, right at the first baseman, Way. But let's say that it was foul when Way played it. We didn't have a real good angle.
It was pretty close, yeah, right on that line, right on the orange bag, which is on the other side of the line.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Olson and then Heppel and Farber, the 2 batters for the Huskies in the bottom of the 7th. Up high, 2-2.
Another example, though, of what Edwards does well. Obviously, she's getting enough movement and keeping that ball down enough where she's creating those ground balls. They're just kind of beating it into the ground.
2-2, fouled at the plate, stays 2-2. Chloe Brown, who Olson is hitting for, walked, struck out, and lined out to first. Two balls and 2 strikes on the outside corner.
Frozen
and
Pete's
Olson
on
goes
the corner.
down looking.
Nice pitch from Edwards that time. Works that outer half. Had come in a few pitches earlier. Had gone up in the zone. That time comes kind of down in the zone and away, and is able to get the call in the corner.
7th strikeout of the game for Edwards. Lacey Heppel. First pitch swinging here, line to right. This one's going to be trouble and one hop the fence. Heppel rounding first, heading to second. She's got speed, heading to third. Stand-up triple.
Boy.
Second triple of the game for Heppel.
Did not fool Heppel at all right there. As has a pretty good beat on Emma Edwards right now these last couple of ABs and sent that one to the furthest part of the ballpark out there in right center.
So a runner at third for Abby Farber.
And once again, same thing as you said in the last inning here, Jim, I think was just, again, the runner at third, inconsequential at this point. You just want to get the hitter at the plate.
Farber 0 for 3 with a strikeout, couple of ground outs. Ball 1 to her. Check that, a strike.
Boy, that must have just caught that corner on the inside.
Well,
I don't know.
I wasn't sure, and I looked at the scoreboard and said 0-1, so we'll go with that. Roller towards third, played at down the third base line by Sylvia Cochran in foul territory.
Now I think they may have it updated at 1-1. Maybe
yeah,
they
you're right.
messed
Yeah,
it.
yeah. 1 ball, 1 strike. Farber and then Dunleavy. Andover's got a long way to claw back here. Down 9-2 in the dirt, 2-1.
Infield playing at regular depth here. Just going to try to concede the run for the out if they can get a ground ball.
To right field, slicing, and it's in there. That's a fair ball. That'll score Heppel easily from third. Double for Farber, and Andover adding to their run total. 9-3 with 1 out.
It's an adventure in right field with Sarah Klein today. She's had a tough time just seeing the ball, I think, in the sun. Had a tough time with the wind. But it just doesn't seem very comfortable when that ball gets hit in the air that she looks like she's ready to make a play on it. She's had some trouble.
Farber's team leading 11th run batted in. She came in with 10. Dunleavy bats now. Takes it a bit high at the letters. Ball 1. Dunleavy today a single, ground out, 2 for 3. Another runner in scoring position here for Andover with 1 down.
Starting to see some fly balls too, so you do wonder about fatigue on Edwards a little bit.
That's low, 2-0.
She only had really 1 or 2 fly balls all game. We've had 2 in the inning, and well hit. Means that ball's starting to get up in the zone.
Steps back in with the 2-0, called a strike, 2-1 with 1 down.
And this is where you got to bear down. If you are feeling a little fatigued, just got to hang in there and see if you can't get this runner at the plate. Requires a high level of focus and a good pitch there.
Yeah, got one across. Just above the knees that time. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ludi on deck. Emma Edwards trying to finish off the Andover Huskies here. Pick up their 3rd straight win over Andover. On the ground sharply, well played at short. Picked up, thrown over to first out there. Runner trying to advance. And it's off the glove of the 3rd baseman, Sylvia Cochran. It'll be backed up. And Farber will stay at 3rd. Dunleavy retired 6-3. It's the 2nd out of the inning. Andover down to their last out as Natalie Ludi will bat with the runner at 3rd.
Interesting. I mean, I don't know if they would do that in a 1-run game, try to take a stab at 3rd base there, because that's a lot of bad things can happen when you try to kind of throw it across the diamond like that. But I think in a 6-run lead, you're trying to end it right there. I suppose I get it.
First pitch to Ludi. Jones gets in front of that one and stays there. Ball 1.
Ludi's been on base a few times tonight.
High. 2-0.
I think that was just kind of a slip on the release point there from Edwards. Haven't seen her get up working that high all game long. Getting a little extra rub on that ball, try to get a grip.
The 2-0 pitch. Fouled at the plate, 2-1. Yeah, when Edwards has missed primarily today, it's been low. Which I guess if you're going to miss.
Well, when you're not a power
pitcher,
catcher. Yeah, you're not a power pitcher. You don't want to. You can't miss up in the zone.
2-0 delivery. Called a strike off of the glove of Jones. Keeps it in the vicinity, and now the Huskies down to their last strike. Home plate umpire getting out the broom.
That's been busy today.
Yeah.
I feel like she's had to do
the
that
wind
often.
has not been helping in that department. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Blaine leading at 9-3. Pulled foul. Stays 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Getting the sign from the dugout.
Fouled again. Good battle here between Ludy and Edwards. If Ludy gets on, Addie Winter's spot in the lineup, and she is in the on-deck circle here for the Huskies. Here comes another 2-2. In the air, pulled and hooking foul. Out of play. Lands in fair territory and then rolls its way to that out-of-play chalk line or painted line down the left field way. Still 2-2.
So she's a little early right now, maybe trying to sit on that fastball. This may be an interesting time to change pace here maybe or change location.
Edwards trying to end it here with 2 down. And that one will bounce up to the catcher Jones, filling the count. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at third is Farber. Run in.
You said it. When you are a pitcher that pitches down in the zone, you need to have a catcher who can stop the ball, and Jones has done a nice job tonight.
3-2. Popped up, foul over our heads, and again out of play. Ludy really battling here to keep the Huskies alive.
And not a lot of strikeout stuff for Edwards, but maybe you're going to try to bear down here and finish this off. You got to start. This is where you start coming up with pitches to throw here.
And she got her. On a pitch high in the zone, maybe even out of the zone, and Ludy on 3-2 chased. And she goes down, and that's it here for the Huskies. In the bottom of the 7th inning, they do get a run on a hit, and they leave one on. That's the 8th strikeout of the game for Edwards. She finishes strong here today for the Huskies. Blaine here today, 9 runs, 14 hits, 1 error. They left 10. And for the Andover Huskies, 3 runs, 6 hits, 1 error, and they leave 8 on base here today. Emma Edwards gets the win. What a strongly pitched game for her, Tim. 7 innings, 7 strong quality innings, gave up just the 3 runs, gave up the 6 hits, struck out 8. That's got to be a season high. I didn't look at her game by game, but she had 12 coming in. That's got to be a season high, and she only walked 1 here today. It might be 2, and she hit a batter as well, hit a couple of batters, and had just the 1 walk that I know of here in the game today. So she was solid. Check that, 2 walks, 1 in the 1st and 1 in the 6th. And then Polsine ends up taking the loss, going 5+ innings. Kostecka came in and pitched the final 2. But this was a real good win for the Blaine Bengals.
No question about it. Blaine played really well today. It tells you that every game in this conference is going to be a challenge. You have to have your A game all the time. Otherwise, you're susceptible to getting beat. We saw that last night for Blaine. They rallied today. They score a bunch of runs, and they win in a really, really tough matchup against a very good Andover team. Very impressive.
In difficult conditions with the win. Bengals 5-3, 4-3 in conference play. They play on Friday at Anoka. Meanwhile, Andover falling to 5-3, both overall and in conference play. Huskies are at Coon Rapids on Thursday, hosting Armstrong on Friday. For our whole crew here today, Ryan, Taylor, the whole gang. Tim, good working with you.
As always.
Thanks, everybody, for joining us here today once again. For Tim Anderson, I'm Jim Erickson. Your final score, Blaine defeats Andover in softball here today, 9-3. You've been watching high school sports on QCTV.